it's hard to say this without sounding mercenary, but I don't really see what's in it for me to run something like that when, as I say, I've got a lot of things I need to be concentrating on.
Community engagement.
Well, we know
guard.
Well, we know how I feel about community engagement.
You are like just comically hostile, like even more so than me, and I don't really have a community.
Well, you're sort of growing one.
That sounds horrible.
Maybe you're
sort of growing one.
Yeah, better let the doctor take a look at that.
You've come down with a bad case of community.
Yeah, you got an acute community sprouting out your asshole there.
God, I have to call everyone I've had sex with.
Rub it with cream and call me in the morning.
I'm sorry, you're gonna develop a community now. I usually my community comes on really bad in winter. It's just horrible.
On the bright
Flares
side,
up.
on the bright side, you'll always have someone who'll praise whatever garbage you put out.
I don't know how much garbage I really bother putting out.
I got my community grew next to my arse. And every time I took a shit, it went, wow, you're really improving. That one was almost perfectly cylindrical.
I love how you tease me about having a hostile attitude. And I don't really have a hostile attitude.
I'm like facetiously expressing that attitude for comic effect.
Well, you know, I find it peculiar because I don't know, you were doing stuff to have internet fame.
Well, yeah.
Like, whereas, like, I'm just a friend who does this for fun.
Login is up, like, server's down.
Sort of treated me as though I've got that, which is peculiar. It's just very alien to me, and I find it just... You have to understand how odd it can be for someone who hasn't done this with a goal in mind.
Okay, well, I was never putting stuff online.
You did what now? You're streaming that?
Yahtzee versus the world.
Fuck that.
Whatever you sent me is a stream.
After that, because I put a little pride in the stuff. You know, the world eventually.
All I looked at, I was like, nigga, that's Zordon. Alright, that ain't just fucking.
You enjoy it.
That's
might as well put some pride into it because then it might become your job.
Well, do it because you love it. You're trying to love it. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, what's this then?
This is the, it's taking place on Jekyll and Hyde Street.
I've got nothing against, the Steam curator system, I should say.
We're just
no, I mean, whatever works.
Look at the faces.
I can hear myself on it. That's so funny.
That certainly is a face.
It's because like
it's all like crazy fucking laggy though.
Yeah, that's the narrator, Tyler/narrator.
Okay.
So he's jumping between personalities. That's Tyler there with the crazy eyes.
Right.
Yep. He's having a conversation with himself at the moment.
So, this is kind of spoiling the film, really, at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, though, I'm not sure how your first interaction with Fight Club would be. I suppose if your older brother bought this game and you sat down...
Possibly.
Played it. Very, very bad fighting game. Yeah. And I'm a connoisseur of shit fighting games. Like, I love them.
When that time you brought all those digitized fighting games to look at.
I'm gonna do another batch of those at some
must
point.
you?
I'm gonna find an excuse to do another batch of shitty shit.
Why do I hear like Australian people?
I suppose that video was a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, you had some fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
I was quite proud of the toilet mat hair observation. Looking back on that video.
And so this is the boss. I have to fight Jack.
Okay. Yes, Jack in quotes. It's not the first word.
He's like fucking hardcore on the first stage. Works the shit out of because there's reversals you can do in the game where you have to like tap forward and block the exact moment of contact. But the hit connections is like the hit connections are kind of sloppy, so I'm gonna get into more. But the good news is you get combo strings. That's
nice. So is there like a non-story mode where you can play any of these characters yourself?
Yeah, there's an arcade mode. It's just like I figured.
So like, are you just now getting in the helicopter, like, or is that also like 3 minutes behind?
I found a way. Don't worry.
If any game could have used unlockable.
No, it's like a minute and a half.
They're actually.
Let them wear funny hats and little cowboy vests.
Yeah, there actually are some interesting and novel unlockable characters. Like, you know how they mentioned like Abraham Lincoln.
Can you fight Eleanor Bonham Carter?
Sadly, no. But you can be Abraham Lincoln.
You can be Gandhi as well.
Tragically, no. I think that's a big fucking oversight. There's a Gandhi skin from Dalton. He's version of Street Fighter, which is fucking great. Like, it's one put effort into it. It's really cool.
That all reminds me of Mercenaries 2 had 2 downloadable costumes around the time of the American election that changed the playable main character to Barack Obama or Sarah Palin.
Yeah, I'm just now hearing myself on the stream.
Like they get like impressionists, or was it sort of clips from
Impressionist, I think.
Okay.
But it was cute.
Yeah, that's nice. That's novel. I think the idea of like a fighting game where you can play as
Oh no, white short-haired, brown-haired dude is kicking the shit out of other white short-haired, brown-haired dude.
the characters in this do not jump out at you, say, as a character from Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat.
Well, no.
There's not a lot of identifiability with
I've
these.
always thought the
All
best
units,
thing
we have
people
reports
design
of violence, sir. Report to location
I
immediately.
hate so much box art these days. Like box art where it's just like a swarm of faces crafted around like all different directions.
It's funny seeing kind of trends.
Yeah, dude, this shit's exactly like fucking Wildlands. Well, probably not exactly. You can't just like fucking grab things with like Spider-Man, but it's just like
helicopter crashes. People are running through a building. It's just a mess. It's a mess, I tell
Person
you.
walking away from the Death Valley Drive.
But you just now like hit the
I
ground
like a
right
simple
here,
box art that
and you
uses,
just
know,
shotgun some guy in the
minimalist imagery
face.
to immediately express something that you can recognize from across the room.
What would you cite as a good piece of minimalist box art?
Well, we had this conversation after we did Future Wars. Remember when I was showing you all the shitty box arts that Delphine Games have had?
Yeah, but that was like, we were specifically looking at shitty examples there.
Yeah, but I was saying like the Japanese or European box art for Heavy Rain.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Shitty game, but
It
quite
was.
quite elegant, quite an elegant design.
Gonna make a game that's almost entirely plot based. At least make the plot make a bit more sense.
Well, quite.
Admittedly, the was it cutting the finger off? That's equal to that.
Yeah, I remember saying that, but yeah, that's a really hard to watch scene. It's really pretty well done.
I think it was. I think there are times when doing things like that.
Those graphics are clunky. Like the guys run around all funny.
Deal with Big Boss at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3. You just stand there for ages. It's pretty cool.
I think that's kind of lost from what perspective. Yeah, solid. That's a joke.
Is it?
See, I still like Metal Gear Solid. I think Metal Gear Solid is the best one. Even if I don't like code changes.
I like how you can like jump like 3 stories and like your guy's just like, good. He fucking runs. That fall damage though.
Missile locked on target.
A giant pulsar with one arm chasing me down the whole way.
I don't think you can write dialogue, which is a shame, because as you say, he does tend to overdo that.
The ending of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Blah 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 blah.
They're gonna bring dead characters back, spend ages explaining why they're back.
Enemy located. All units attack on site.
With a hint, if you ever plan to design a story-based game, if you ever have to have an exposition scene and let
You're creating total chaos, it says.
the things you're talking about as the exposition is going on, maybe losing. Maybe try and go over it and see how much you can check it out.
But yeah, see, just not getting it. Go back to playing Modern Warfare if you want like just a quick,
Fuck
stupid
you.
shooter. You don't understand the
I've always thought
sublime art.
Hideo Kojima is a writer who has no patience for people inferring anything other than what he intended. Hideo Kojima, like, it seems like he writes really lengthy character profiles.
He needs an editor.
And then feels he has to. Oh, that's his own idea.
Yeah, they got money back.
I take it this is the end of the game then.
Yeah, that was the boss fight. I didn't know that was the boss fight.
Oh, okay. That was quick.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dude, I'm gonna buy you a fucking PlayStation 4 and fucking Wildlands so you can play that shit. It's so epic.
Are you holding the DMP?
It's a remote control car remote that is hooked up with the bombs that will detonate and
Yeah. No, dude, fucking Wildlands is the shit when you're fucking playing with people online. Like, if they're not being like fuckboys, it's fucking super fun, dude.
Like, hey, this character's called Zero. Let's talk about all the ways that should be applied.
Yeah, you just like sucker punch this fool out of the. What the fuck?
nice eyeshadow there.
Anything else interesting happening gaming this week, or was that it?
Is it just gonna recreate the final scene from?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I was actually a bit surprised at that myself. But the idea is, again, it just shows you that your character was the one that pushed the button.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I feel involved.
Yeah.
Logins are up. The server's still down.
It is a bit annoying. I mean, it's kind of like the way every like,
That login's back down. Fucking good job, Rose. Oh my god. It's so bad. They fucking broke the game.
Are you like in the spirit, or are you just jerking off as a fan of the work?
Goggin, the Google, Frost, DK.
I always thought, especially during the David Tennant years, all characters seem totally in love with the character. Like, he's great, he's amazing, he will save the universe, he's great.
Alright. To be fair, that was a decent reaction, because one of the things that used to bug me about old Doctor Who was everywhere he went, nobody had ever fucking heard of him, despite the fact that he was bouncing around trying to save the world.
Yeah.
To be fair, any sentence that follows it is regarded.
Well, okay, I disagree with your assessment.
Report to violence in the sector.
Well, no, I think, to be fair, is I can understand how you come back to the game, but I think you come to that conclusion from not having.
Where's mine?
How much?
Here, I'll link you to my channel. Oh, I have,
Every time we talk about Doctor Who, it's like, I don't care, it's stupid, you're dumb for liking it.
Actually, I said that. I kind of stopped after.
How do I link you my video?
Well, okay, I've watched every existing episode. Read most of the
Share.
books. Yeah,
Well, that means
Discord.
we can't expect an unbiased viewpoint from you.
No, it's just like the interesting thing about Doctor Who is each
There.
successive kind of style that it's made in tends to.
I got walkthroughs on Steam Chicago.
And that goes with like his personalities and storylines as well.
But I
It
beat
tends
him
to
without
be a little bit of
being
the opposite. And
Look at all these people who should be ashamed of themselves.
I don't blame any of these people. I think this was this was work.
Well, not one of them put a hand up at any point, so does anyone else notice this is completely missing the point of the
And then I
annotation?
think there's one little
But sometimes you just gotta go to
I don't know
work
if
to
it's
get paid.
made.
Public
This
though.
was a
Just
cheap,
glad to be
shitty cash in.
working.
Yeah.
Glad to be working. All these people.
Hey.
Just glad to be working.
Wanna, are you hungry? Hungry? You want some food? Give you some food. Yeah, I mean, modern Doctor Who engaged with the idea that he might actually be remembered for the shit that he did. Which I think also got taken a bit too far, which is why he then tried to delete himself from history, which I think was sort of a cheap, method of dealing with that.
Okay, Doctor Who's the Inquisitor now.
Yeah, essentially. Well, erase memory of him, delete himself.
Well, I thought nobody recognised him when he showed up, because every time he went back in time a certain amount, he changed the whole time stream.
Well, that's an interesting, sort of broader theory about how Doctor Who works, because it has no tight canon ever. It's never had a tight canon. There's been I think 3 different destructions of Atlantis, 2 different Loch Ness monster explanations.
That's something to admire, I think.
Well,
Only
yeah.
in recent years that television became so rapidly serialised all over the place.
Yeah, that was. I mean, again, they used to just delete episodes.
I used
What are
to
we gonna do with this old episode? Burn it. Nobody
used-
wants to watch that anymore.
I used to watch Star Trek all the time. I kind of like, episode of the week, back to status quo thing.
Well, I think Star Trek, and to a degree, Doctor Who has that. I don't think you need long form serialization, but yeah, it's just now we have the ability to access every episode of a TV show at will, and that's really changed how TV works. It has had a profound effect on how we structure
I would think
plot.
that structure would support status quo, like the non-serialized shows, because it means you can watch at any point. You can take a random episode from anywhere during the series.
Yeah, but see, a lot of TV has been status quo for a long time, so the big experiment now is how much you can do in terms of serialization. BoJack Horseman was a recent release on Netflix, which started out feeling like a very cheap and simple standard animated sitcom. But because it's on Netflix and because they can make an episode knowing that you have the ability to watch the one previous, they built the story. So the story actually became reasonably good.
Right.
So the characters actually developed, they went places.
It's playlist culture,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, and that's really changing how TV works now. So we can get, as opposed to 20 or 13 single episodes, we actually get a 13-hour story.
Well, that's great, but what I kind of like about status quo non-serialization is that it can really sort of build something, it sort of like really establish a character down to the bone. So when you do the occasional like best of both worlds style double episode and really like earth-shattering things stuff, it feels.
What would you say as an example of that? Just out of
I
curiosity.
just said best of both worlds. Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh right, okay. I thought you were. I didn't realize that was the title of the episode you're talking about.
Picard gets Borgified at the end of the first episode, and you're like, holy shit! He's like, Captain Picard's a fucking rock. How did that happen?
You can unlock Fred Durst as a playable character in this game.
Fred Durst.
The lead singer of Limp Bizkit.
Of course.
Yeah, he's in a bizarre amount of video games, and I think it's because he had a thing in his contract that whenever Limp Bizkit music got used, he got put in the game. He's in like a weird.
That's a weird, but at the same time, kind of
get
whimsical thing
yeah,
to have in your
I
contract.
completely understand.
That's cute. I'd kind of like to have a contract like that as well.
You should. You should absolutely do that. You should just Yahtzee Kershaw, unlockable player. I'd design your fighting style. I'd do that for you. That would be fun.
Well, if it was anything like my real life fighting style, I'd just I'd weakly slap something and then curl up.
You're like Metapod. you can just use Harden. So yeah, I decided just to have a look at Fred Durst and his amazing fighting style.
Nice tats.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's in some way differentiable from the other character.
Backwards red hat means Durst.
Right. That's because no one's ever worn that.
No, that is completely Fred. That's just all Freddy to a T.
Could just as easily be Poochie from the Itchy and Scratchy show.
He is kind of like the human Poochie.
When Fred Durst is not on screen, everyone should be saying, "Where's Fred Durst?"
And there are a few people who will behave like that. They're mostly unemployed.
I wonder how that sort of ego grows. Probably because it's been yesterday too long.
Honestly, if you're a big fan of video games and the thought occurs like, hey, can I be in this? And someone says yes, then you're like, yeah.
I'd quite like to be in a video game. I'd quite like to be a fighting game character. I
You
guess.
make your own fucking video games. You can make this happen. Yeah. So
well,
that game ended really quickly.
Well, that would be the height of egotism. I'd just like to.
And it's Snowboard Kids as well. Because Slide.
I'd just like to be a cameo in someone else's like larger game universe.
There you have it, indie game makers. Have your pity Yahtzee, and I'm sure he'll give your game a good review.
I was playing Roundabout this week.
Pity Yahtzee!
Have you played that? Like a new Steam game. It's rather eccentric, sort of top-down driving game, but where you control a limousine that continuously rotates.
What are the videos that you can even see on my channel? Can you see just the Rainbow Six ones?
Allowing for the continuous rotation. And what's weird about it is that a lot of it something started to strike me as familiar about it, like certain voices. And then, like, turns out half the characters in it are, like, voiced by Something Awful Forum Let's Players, of all people. Like, one of the, like, main villain characters is the voice of Psychedelic Eyeball, who's this, like, French-Canadian guy.
So
you, a very distinctive voice.
You can see the one on me on my one of my motorcycles. I sold that old one.
Weird place to take cameos from. I guess maybe it was developed by someone who hangs around there a lot.
That one,
give it back to the community.
Yeah, it's super funny. There's a part of it. I go to Walmart. This fool dropped his wallet, and then there's this one part on here right after that where this bitch fucking nearly cuts me off. I almost smacked her fucking mirror off.
Well, that's the benefit of. Paid for it.
I don't mind that.
I suppose. I mean. That's one way to do it.
Actually, there we go.
What?
Get onto a question by Zipper91.
What?
Alright, let's go to questions. What makes a good Let's Play? Well, not this, obviously.
Simply describe this as not a Let's Play.
Well, no, it's a Let's Drown Out. Yeah. It's a podcast.
Copyright!
It's our own thing. We made it up. Do not steal.
Yeah. If you do, I will come to your house and shit into your eyes.
Well, I generally watch a Let's Play if I'd like to see the content of the game again. But I don't particularly want to play it. Just been amazing.
The ones that I tend to look at from time to time, I like the Let's Plays. I think have like real solid value with the archive as well. The ones that kind of just play through a game silently. So I how did that happen, or I can't remember. And I go back and
yeah, those are the plays. But also, I like Let's Play by people who I refer to as completion.
Well, yeah, I'd put that in the archival.
I mean, that's kind of like...
That's more engaging, something more complex criticism skills.
I quite like...
that's what I want to see.
I would plug to them like a couple of weeks back on the stream video, but... we did it for Metal Gear Rising Revenge. It sort of made me look on that game with a fresh perspective. Because there's a lot of stuff that's really badly explained in that game.
The only ones I ever really look at, and I couldn't tell you like this game, the first one, the archival. The archival ones like that, yeah. I think, are very valuable and very important.
So most recently, I started playing, but never got through the world. It's really unfriendly to start playing that, and they're again doing the same sort of service.
My brother was talking about how good Wonderful 101 was, but I haven't got around to it.
Yeah, it just didn't, just kind of scared a lot of people off, that game. Because it's kind of a big barrier to entry. But I guess other than the archival stuff, I mean the Let's Play that kind of got me into Dark Souls, maybe give it a second look, was just like a sort of a blind Let's Play that a guy was playing. I think it was Geop on the Something Awful Let's Play forums, and he was being directed by the people on his stream thing. And so they could like stop him if he was going in the wrong way, and so it wouldn't get too boring.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of made it interesting.
Was that on Twitch or was that a live thing?
I'm not sure. Might have been. I think they did a stream one and they did a non-streamed one.
That's me learning that explosives will hit you as well.
Are there any other Let's Plays you want